Hey, party people, it's Cliff. It took like 20 minutes to get that camera back on that thing this morning. I don't know what's happening, man. Oh, but you know what's happening? Today, I am going to pay off this car. And you're probably wondering why I'm in my car driving to a place to pay off my car. Well, this is the thing that kind of irked me a little bit about CarMax. Now, nothing wrong against them. I bought this car through CarMax. I knew the price. I knew my loan rate. I knew how many years I was paying for it. I bought it in 2022. It's 2026 right now. Actually, no, I bought it in 2023. It was supposed to be paid off in 2027, but I got about 6 months left to go. However, I got the full deal. I'm going to go in. And here's the thing that I kind of disagree with CarMax. Now, maybe it's part of the law. Maybe it's part of like their finance operations. Maybe it's something. But you got to print out a fucking letter, okay? In 2026, you have to print out a physical letter. You have to mail that letter with a check or a confirmed check if you want to pay off your payoff balance early. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, like, why in the hell would they want to do that? You know, maybe it's part of the law. Maybe it's something with their finance department. Maybe it's something that I'm not aware of. But in this day and age, when everything's online, when I can, I just got back from Seoul, South Korea, right? And at the LAX, you don't even need your passport anymore. They just take a photo of your face, it scans you in, and you're good to go. Like, the thing is it's kind of ridiculous, in this day and age. I gotta drive. Now, I gotta go to Office Max. I gotta print out the letter. Now that's another thing. Like, who has a printer nowadays, right? Like, personally, everything's done by email. That's the thing that kind of bugs me, right? It's like 2026. Like, everybody should have these things available, and these things. It should just be like, go online, click on the thing, pay. Would you like to pay off your car? This is your payoff amount. Click and done. Like every other fucking payment system in the entire world right now. But no, I gotta go. I gotta do this letter. I gotta waste my time. And quite honestly, it really sets in well, for one thing, right? I called up CarMax yesterday and I talked with a sales guy, and I was like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with sending a big chunk of money through the mail, whether it's a cashier's check or whether it's FedEx, anything like that. Not really comfortable sending a big, through the mail to this office that, is supposedly supposed to, get it and then pay off my loan, right? Letter's going to take 4 or 5 days, all of that stuff. So I talked with the sales associates guy, and I'm like, hey, can I just go to the CarMax shop and just say here's a letter, here's my check, give me a receipt, pay off my loan? And the guy was like, yeah, you come on in, do it. I'm like, all right, cool. So there's a couple of different scenarios that can happen. One, that happens, everything's good, no problem at all. Like, go in, pay it off, happy camper, Option number 2, and legitimate, these guys are car guys, they need to sell their cars, they're going to try to sell me on something, totally fine. I'm not buying it. End of story. Right? Like, doesn't matter. Trade in? No. Don't want to do it. Love this car. All of that stuff, I am simply there for one goal and one goal only, and that is final. That is final. Finito. No more. So, it's a little bit frustrating. And hey, you know what? If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do, because I'm going to pay this off. Once the payoff has come, they'll mail me not the deed. What is it? The title of the car, and then I'll fully own this car, and then I'll be happy, and I won't have a car payment. So, in the grand sense of the word, in what I think they're doing, on the one hand, it could be, some state law. It could be like the financial loan office gods or whatever have deemed it so that you have to actually write a letter and send it off to them. And you cannot use, you can't pay off your loan, on a website. You can't pay off your loan early, let's say. You can probably pay off your loan like normal, I calculated it. They're probably gonna, like, if I were to continue my monthly payments, I'd probably pay an extra like $200 or whatever. But I just want it done because I just want it done, right? One less thing out of my mind to worry about. Now, it could be something that's, beyond their control. Now, let's go to the other side. If it's not something that's beyond their control, if they could put the payoff like button, would you like to pay off your loan? Click. There it is. Here's your payoff amount. Would you like to pay this? Yes. Click. Pay it off. Done. If they're able to do that and they choose not to, that's the problem. And that is the thing that we are, that would irk me. It irks everybody. I've looked at some posts on Reddit and they're like, yeah, just print out the letter and send it off. And I'm like, what if you're sending, a 5-figure sum? What if you're sending like a bigger sum of money and then that gets lost? Then that's on you. So part of it is like, calm down, people. I'm going through. Gee whiz, everybody's trying to get to their thing. But part of it is like, I want to make sure, I want to be 100% sure that the responsibility of my loan payment is either through the electronic system, through the internet, on their like financial website, or I actually go into a CarMax place and say, I want to pay off my loan. Here you go. Give me copies. So that way, if anything fishy happens, I can basically go to, the judge or whoever and say, look, I went into CarMax. I gave them my $3,000 check to pay off this car loan. And now they say that my car loan isn't paid off. Hold on a second. Now, if you send it through the mail and your check goes gone, and then, like, let's say the worst case scenario, right? Which probably won't happen, but there has happened. Worst case scenario, I take a check, I take that letter, I put it in the mail. It's a good chunk of change. I send it off, right? 4 days later, I look at my bank account, that check has been cashed. I'm like, amazing, great. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, I'm like, where's the title? Then I got to call up CarMax, like, hey, I paid off this loan. You withdraw the money out of my account. And the CarMax says, well, we didn't receive any payment. You still owe us everything. Oh, then now what? I'm like, well, that's the thing. So I am spending my Saturday, making sure that I pay off this loan and that the responsibility is on CarMax, is on them, going to their store and being there in a physical presence. And I think, like a bigger picture is that with the younger generation and the younger folks, like, and sometimes it may not be able to be possible to go into a physical location. I mean, all these companies are trying to like, use AI and like use the automatic telephone marketers to like, prevent people from talking to a real person. But sometimes you just gotta like, you just gotta get up and go talk to a real person and actually go in there. So they have all the camera recordings, as you walking into the store, like everything's like legit and everything's properly done. And you got to do that just so you cover your own ass in case like, shit happens. And I don't want stuff to happen. And those are the things that you got to think about. At least in my mind, you got to think about when, when all of this stuff is happening. I don't know. Does this guy want to come over? He can come over if he wants. He's got to force his way over, though. Hey, come on, buddy. You got it. I think over in South Korea, there people are driving a lot closer than out here in the States. Maybe because, I don't know, insurance is crazy. Man, it's like $200 a month for insurance on this car in LA. When my mom on her old Honda Accord is paying $20 a month in Texas. You make it make sense. But anyway, that's just sort of it. It's like going to pay off the car and like just be aware that all these companies, they're like a roach motel, right? If you remember a roach motel, like a roach goes in, the saying is it's easy to go in, hard to come out. It's the same with any of these, like, Amazon, how do I cancel my account? Facebook, how do I cancel my account? Instagram, how do I cancel my account? And they're so adamant about spending as much money as they can to prevent the entire like world from, one click unsubscribe from their account, like canceled everything. They'll one click subscribe you to it. I think gym memberships are another one. That's a big one. Everybody, there really does need to be a law that says, your loan can be paid off like online. No questions asked. Boom, done. And then never have to deal with you again. Like, or, cancel gym membership. Boom, done. Cancel Amazon account. Boom, done. Cancel Netflix. Would you like to cancel? Yes, click, done. And then actually in that law too, because Facebook has done this, is that if you close your Facebook account, but then you log back in again, like say, 6 months, 9 months later, it'll reactivate it automatically. So you're not really canceling it, and everything on there is safe. So it really needs to be like, delete all my data. And it'll never do it. It'll never do it because everyone's bought. But that's my opinion. It's like, it's funny how the wave of cancel culture that sort of got in the mainstream social media like pages. It's amazing to me that like everyone's like, oh, you getting canceled, and cancel culture and all that. And it's like, well, cancel culture really needs to focus on the things that actually need to be canceled. Like if you want to close down your social media account and delete everything you ever said on it, that should be a thing. If you want to delete anything that you posted on the internet that could potentially ruin like a next job or ruin like your next career, or do that, you got to delete it. But you know how it is, the internet's forever and you can't delete everything, so it's always funny. But anyway, that's about it. After this, the car will be paid off. I'll be happy, or you'll get another video from me telling you how frustrating it was. So I guess you could stay tuned for that. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day out there. And remember, don't get caught in debt. Pay it all off. Be a happy camper. And keep living life to the fullest. All right, until next time. Catch you later. Bye.